The following may not be suitable for children under the age of 18. Welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the absolute worst show ever. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, I am at SDD916. And if you'd like to join our my Facebook page, it is the Sky Genie Unofficial Official Group page. We are currently on YouTube and Daily Motion. And if you would like to donate to the show to show your support for the show, go to the homepage of my YouTube channel and click on the donate button. You can donate as much as you like, and your donations will go towards the show and helping improve the quality of the show so you get a way better show than you're getting right now. I'd like to shout out a few podcasts. Get in the Corner on Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Mixlr. As well, also on Mixlr is the Don Tony Kevin Castle show, who drop every Monday night immediately after Raw. As well, on the same channel as the Don Tony Kevin Castle show is Wrestling Soup. They do a show on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. They also do a Saturday morning shitbox on Saturday mornings, but this is not on pay-per-view weekends. And on Sunday pay-per-view weekends, they do a recap show of the pay-per-view. So please check him out on Mixlr. Also on Podbean, there is the Solomonster Sounds off, who drops a show every Sunday. They are really good shows, and I recommend you go out of your way to listen to them because they are really good shows. Unlike this one. For the update of Genie Jr., I mentioned that in the last episode that he was being raped by a big fat hairy dude. Well, as it turns out, he actually turned it around and raped the big fat hairy dude. That's my boy. We have the pay-per-view recap of Hell in a Cell. After the break, yes, there are commercials on this show. Sadly, well, I guess if you call them commercials. Are you sick of getting your dick stuck in a beer bottle and having to go to the ER room and having that sexy nurse see your embarrassing predicament? Well, I have a solution for you. Elastic beer bottles. Yes, elastic beer bottles for those people who like to stick their cock right in the hole. Because let's face it, we get those horny moments. Yuck, nasty approves. Get some elastic beer bottles today. And we are back. So the TNA lawsuit happened today. And the ruling is that he does not get controlling interest, or there's no restraining order, so Dixie Carter can discuss to anybody of a sale or a business deal to anybody that she wants. Billy Corrigan is owed $1.8 million, which is meant to be paid by the 1st of November. For me, that's today, but I guess it's or as of recording. But if it's for America, which will obviously be for, that would be tomorrow. But if Dixie Carter does not come up with the money, Billy Corrigan will own 36% of the company, I believe, and this is pretty. So Billy Corrigan will still be owning a percentage of the company, but will not get the voting rights. But what this also means, probably what will likely happen, Anthem or the Fight Network that owns of what would be widely known, could probably buy out Billy Corrigan, and he'll be gone from the company, so that will not be an issue. Now the next issue was the tax lien that was put on TNA. Apparently that was an accounting error, and that will be corrected. But now there's still but now I have to think, where does TNA go from here? Because now there is talent that have not been paid. There's also other legalities that is coming in, and with all this massive debt, TNA is still in a whole lot of trouble here. And this could be, I mean, I'm not saying anything. TNA virtually pretty much survived another bullet. I don't know how much more this company can take, but it really does seem like the cockroach analogy. I mean, you can nuke them, you could shoot them, you could do all this crazy things to them, but they just will not die. I think it's good for people to work, but then if talent is not getting paid, and I can see if TNA is not paying their talents in time, people will actually walk. I mean, I was seeing online that Mike Bennett is not exactly happy, and Maria is actually considering retiring, if not leaving. I hope they both go back to Ring of Honor personally, but hey, what can you do? I mean, they're both under contract, so that's where they'll play the retirement idea comes in. Yeah, I think this is real bad for TNA, and hopefully it's something that they can move forward in, but their troubles are far from over. I mean, this is only the beginning. I mean, they've put as soon as lawsuits really amount like this, companies any company, and not just TNA, but any company, as soon as they get a legality of lawsuits, whether it's the tax thing went through or not, there's still a lot of issues, because now, and with TNA, is way more damaged than once thought. And really, TNA is in an embarrassing situation where if they sell the company, they don't have, it lowers their net worth. And the lower the net worth, the only thing that's the saving grace is the fact they do have TV and other international deals. The fact they still have that is what keeps their value up. If they lost TV, pretty much the same as WCW. If they lose TV, pretty much everything else is pretty much worthless. I mean, yes, they have a ring, they would have the library, they would have this and that. But if you don't have TV, TNA needs TV because they're a TV company. They do not travel, they do not do live events like they should be doing. It's just. And TNA is a TV wrestling company when they should be a traveling company. TNA wants to be known as this, at least an alternative. They want to be WWE. They're never going to be WWE. TNA needs to be the alternative product. Where, okay, you watch WWE. I mean, let's face it, WWE gets boring. It gets really crappy after a while, especially after that pay-per-view and after Raw. You do have that sense of, why did I watch this crap? So you look for other alternatives, because you don't hate pro wrestling. You look for other ventures in pro wrestling, because that was back in the day when we were looking at the 90s. if you did not like what WWE was showing, you had a choice of WCW, and if you could get it, ECW at the time. Before that, there was your territories, and and from what I'm guessing from people of the past, that sometimes people would get other companies where people would get Georgia and they'll get World Class, and one will get WWE, then also get AWA, but then wrestling back then was a simpler time. You had stars in that time, and nowadays I'm not saying TNA don't have stars. I mean that the Hardy Boys have been real good for TNA as of late, but they do not have the talents of the guys like what WWE has. Like, they have the Cenas, they have the Roman Reigns, or whether you like them or not. But you've also had the Austins, the Rocks, the Hogans. All of them have been successful there. But you go to TNA, who has been successful in TNA? I mean, yes, you could claim AJ Styles, but AJ Styles was really recognized because he went to Japan. He is a star on his own. I pretty much call him the Ric Flair of this generation because he went to every single other place and got over. He is in WWE too, and that's a testament to AJ Styles, not to where he was. Yes, he has claim of being built in TNA. Yes, he has his whole career, pretty much half of his career is in TNA. The other half is right now. It's Japan to right now, and that's as I said, that's a testament to AJ Styles. There's not very much other people that have gone out of their way to be a star like that. Samoa Joe has not been, I think, could be that one of those guys, but he's not exactly. What hurts Samoa Joe? He's not part of the Samoan family that's already in WWE. Like guys like Rikishi, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and all that. He's an outsider so much, so he might be that Pat Samoan. And that may hurt him a bit, but then I don't know. Maybe Vince will see this guy and look at the size of him, and yeah, he might be a bit overweight, but he's good. He can get out there, and he can. I've seen Samoa Joe do a lot of things that not a lot of big guys do, and yet, granted, he's probably slowed down in a few years. I mean, he's near 40, and he can't be doing those high flying moves anymore. But Samoa Joe could possibly be that next star like AJ Styles to be that, because if anybody remembers, he was a world champion in Ring of Honor before he went to TNA, so he was a star going into TNA. I mean, the first couple of years he was alright with that run with Kurt Angle, but pretty much after that, Samoa Joe wasn't really turning anything on, and that was not his fault, by the way. I feel TNA really dropped the ball on Samoa Joe. It was, and it's a real testament now, because you see, since he's left, he's picked right back up again. And look at him, he's one of the best talents on NXT today, and he should be on the main roster. And hey, and you know, I would like for him to be the first man to be Ring of Honor, TNA, and WWE World Champion, or whatever title he wins. Universal title to me is the WWE title still. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. But yeah, for TNA and their legal troubles, I really do hope they pull through. I hope they get better, but really under Dixie Carter, they're not going to get better. They're not going to get a better reputation. Being the fact that they're still called TNA is stupid. I mean, what are they going to gain with that damaged name? That name is damaged. The company is damaged, and keeping it what it is today is insane. I mean, and everybody knows what TNA stands for: tits and ass. Really? Are we really still going with that? I mean, okay, the Attitude Era, fine. That was the time. I was for that time. I mean, yes, I like the Attitude Era, but there's a time when you got to move on. I'm not saying I'm PC. I mean, I don't want this show to be very PC. I mean, fuck being PC, but there is also a point when you're looking at a company and you're looking at like, man, this is stupid. I mean, you're trying to be a legitimate company. Number two, you want to be number one, but you're trying to be a legitimate company, and you have a clown name like TNA. Change your initials, change your business model, change your stance, promote your business, go out and go make money with house shows so you're not having financial issues. Don't book big arenas, book small arenas, book. I mean, you look at companies like Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor do not book big giant arenas. They book little arenas for the atmosphere. And you see, when you have an arena, okay, maybe it's so small, but you see a bunch of people around cheering for your product, it creates interest. You have new viewers that will likely to watch your show. See, wow, that looks really fun. I might want to go to that. TNA has really good wrestlers. TNA has really good wrestling. I'm not going to deny him that. TNA has everything that they need. Okay, granted, and to me the voice, Josh Matthews and the Pope need to go. Fire them, get rid of them. Put in people that connect. Find people. There's probably a heap of people out there that could help you make this company great. And if Dixie Carter is that stubborn not to see why her company is failing, I mean, I don't think she understands what a television company does. I don't think she understands what a wrestling company does. I don't. And I don't care how many people will go out and tell me that TNA, she does know about TNA, because there's Dixie Carter supporters out there. And then there's a lot of them, and they're really dumb. But there's a reason. I mean, and they'll all defend the crap, like illogically defend the company, which mind boggles me, because there's a lot of proof out there, and everything that was reported, because they'll shit on Dave Meltzer. And here's what I think about Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer, I think, is a legitimate guy. He's a reporter. He's supposed to report things. May he embellish something? Maybe, but that's to drive subscribers. I mean, that's what you do. I mean, I'm not going to tell you bullshit. News I report on is what I've read also. So I don't report anything. I don't have sources. I mean, who would I have sources with? I mean, yeah, sources claim this and that. I mean, no, I'm not like that. I'll give my opinion. I give my opinion on the matter. I don't have sources. But where I am reading that the TNA diehard fans, they'll say, oh, Meltzer's wrong and this, Meltzer's wrong and that. But I always ask him this one question: how is TNA doing on Spike TV? And you know what? Not one of them answer it. They ignore it. Actually, they ignore it, and they'll probably go away. They don't answer it all, or they'll try and deflect it to another argument. They never answer it, because they know that is a slap in the face. And Vince Russo, okay, and I'll say this: rest in peace to Vince Russo's mum. That's horrible for what happened to Vince Russo's mum, but I'm not going to disparage his family, but like, Vince Russo was the reason TNA got kicked off on Spike TV. They found out Spike TV found out behind their back that TNA was consulting Vince Russo on storyline ideas when Spike TV wanted nothing to do with Vince Russo. And I'm not going to claim anything that has not been said or done. I'm not going to be the Jim Cornette and wish death upon Vince Russo. I mean, I find it funny the rants he goes on, but then sometimes I go, yeah, that might be a little bit childish. But he was the reason TNA got kicked off of Spike TV. And everybody that was a TNA fan denied it. They didn't want to hear that was the case. Well, it turned out to be the case because later on he admitted to that fact that that he was working behind the scenes and that Spike TV did not like it. And with Destination America, well, fans again, they were on there for 9 months, and within about 3 to 4 or 5 months, the Destination America decided that they were going to take TNA off the air. Everybody denied that too, but what happened? They're on a it's an ad channel, an infomercial channel, which is not a good thing. I mean, they're getting money off ad revenue, and the thing is with TNA, and when they've had tax issues, when a company has tax issues, and you're wanting advertising, it makes it a lot harder because the people that's advertising don't want to be associated with your company because you're a failing business. You're a bad business, and they think bad business for them is bad business. Bad business for TNA is bad business for them because they're not going to be able to sell their product. But anyway, I think I've gone on 18 minutes from what it looks like, and that's not normal for me. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm getting more comfortable on the microphone. Yeah, so that's the situation with TNA and the lawsuit. Billy Corrigan does not get controlling or voting rights to the company, and Dixie Carter has the right to sell the company, but Billy Corrigan is owed $1.8 million by tomorrow, wherever you are or whenever you're listening. But if it's not paid, Billy Corrigan will own 36% of the company. And that's the news so far. We got the Hell in a Cell review. I don't know how long I'll spend on it because I didn't really care, to be honest, to watch the show. There were 3 Hell in a Cell matches built for this, and they were all built as main events. They opened up the show with the United States Championship match between Roman Reigns and Rusev. They threw everything under the kitchen sink into this match to try and get Roman Reigns over. I just have to say this. Roman Reigns is not the star WWE wants him to be. That is not to say Roman Reigns does not deserve to be in the main event or be a top star. I think he is money. The role he is currently in, and the role he has been in for the last 2 years, is the same role. I don't think is a main event level guy. It's not. Okay, I'll rephrase that. He is not the main event level guy of a John Cena, of a Steve Austin, of a Hulk Hogan, of a Rock, or a Ric Flair, or a Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race. He is not that guy. To me, that guy right now, that should be the guy they are focusing on, is Seth Rollins. WWE is focusing on Seth Rollins, but I think it should be a lot higher. Roman Reigns he has the look. Okay, I'll give him that. He has the look, he has the believability to be somebody, but it's not in that role. This guy should be healed. Let's face it, that whole storyline going into that pay-per-view was of Roman Reigns disrespecting Rusev's wife, Lana. Now, who in their right mind would think, okay, there's probably people that are married out there or are in relationships, and that would be something to understand. Who thinks ill of a married man defending the honor of his wife? Anybody? No? Why? Why would you view him as a good guy? Does Roman Reigns look like a good guy after that? No. And to me, Rusev was the babyface in this whole feud. Everything he did was justified. And what WWE seems to be doing, and I've heard this on Wrestling Observer and other places, that WWE does not know how to book a babyface. I have to give an exception to that. WWE does know how to book a babyface, but they give it to the wrong guy. I have a wandering theory that they must get one of the writers to hand scripts out. Not Vince, not Stephanie, not Triple H, not anybody else, but one of the writers. And they tell him, go give that to Roman Reigns. Well, they probably fuck up in their minds and go, whoops, I gave it to Rusev. They probably gave him the wrong scripts. That's my theory, but somehow it happens to have their wording in it. Yeah, but everything under the kitchen sink. Roman Reigns, Rusev had Roman Reigns in this accolade camel clutch with a chain, and yet Roman Reigns beats Rusev with a spear to win. To me, it seems very illogical. It was an okay match. I'll give it that. It was an okay brawling match. But the finish was hokey as fuck, considering that Roman Reigns was pretty much should have lost this match the way everything was booked, but yet he got out of everything. And to me, that does not get Roman Reigns over. That makes him really look bad, in my view. WWE really fucked up on trying to make this guy good. If that was their intention, which clearly it is, to get Roman Reigns over, this doesn't get him over. I don't know what why WWE thinks this will get over. And I really wonder if it's Vince McMahon going senile. Somebody needs to put Vince McMahon in a home, if that's the case. We're going to move on. We're going to go to Bayley and Dana Brooke. Now, for the last few weeks on Raw, we have been subjected to Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Watching Raw tonight, I thought we were almost getting that, but then we got Nia Jax versus Bayley, which is much more improvement, at least. Because at least with Nia Jax, you can work that monster role. She's the big David versus Goliath role. That's the thing. She's Bayley's David, Nia Jax is Goliath. You got that dynamic. Nia Jax doesn't have to be good in the ring. She just has to be a monster. Dana Brooke, on the other hand, she isn't a monster. She's a stocky girl. She's a bodybuilder type. But the thing is with her, and it's WWE putting her in this light, because I think Dana Brooke is is somebody to keep an eye out for. I said that when she was in NXT. People were shitting on her, saying how bad she was. But then I saw moments of improvement, especially when she was with Emma in NXT. I think WWE should put that, when Emma comes back, put them two back together, because that worked. Her as a single star on her own is going to fail miserably, and maybe she should go back to NXT until she gets better experience. But with this match though, I'm not going to say it was one of her worst matches. I thought this was an okay match. This was not up to Bayley's standards. Bayley has had a lot better matches, but then in NXT, it's not so much the gender specific, and the work rate is a lot better in NXT than it is on the main roster. Not to put that on anybody. I think because Vince doesn't care about what happens in the ring. All he cares about is getting the story delivered, and that's pretty much it. When really, to me, the wrestling should matter in the ring, because the wrestling is meant to be what tells the story, not the dialogue of what happens in between. But I thought this match was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen a lot worse, and I can honestly say I haven't seen. That's probably not the worst. Dana Brooke's not the worst women's wrestler I've ever seen. I mean, a lot of people have watched NXT with that Jenna Moroska person. I think it was Charmel, was it? And I think there was another one in TNA this year. I forget who it was, but it was absolutely atrocious. And people might remind me if they see it. But anyway, moving on. Next, it was The Club versus Big Kaz and Enzo. This was an okay match. The Club has been stripped of all its credibility, though. But it was good they got this win. I will say it's good they got this win, but then it really doesn't mean anything though. The Club is done without a third person to guide them and make them a strong force. They need to be a strong force. That's their gimmick. That's what they were. They need somebody attached to them that makes them look like a force. That's what they have when they were with AJ Styles. They were a force. If they were on SmackDown with AJ Styles, I would say still now they would still be a force, because AJ is the top heel on SmackDown, and with that rubber being the top heel goes to Luke Gallows and Anderson, who could be dominating the tag team scene over there. I mean, I don't know, swap them for the Ascension. I don't care. I mean, no one cares about the Ascension. Have them lose a bunch of matches on Raw. So anyway, but that's my stance. I thought it was a good match, and with the right finish. Next up was the WWE Universal Championship. Kevin Owens defends the title against Seth Rollins. I thought this was an awesome match. Everything that was inside it, especially with Chris Jericho. This meshes well, and Seth Rollins is a good babyface to play off with the great heel of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. As I was saying before, my opinion is Seth Rollins is the guy they should go with. They should not be playing him as a second fiddle guy. He is a main event talent. He is a star. He should be the guy that should be the face of that company, because if you look at him, he gets the reactions that you want. But whenever he's working as a heel, he gets booed loudly. Now he's transitioning into a face. He's slowly getting there on being a top face. That guy, I believe, is the guy you should be marketing. Not the guy who still wears a SWAT team vest. Samoan guy that is not getting over with anybody. It doesn't matter who you put him with, what you say, what you have him say, what you have him do. Roman Reigns is not going to get over it. Seth Rollins is. He's getting over on his own. And I'm wondering if it's because the stigma of being an independent guy is why Seth Rollins is not getting that nod. But anyway, it was a really awesome match. And I thought it was match of the night, to be honest. And that's all I have to say about that. Moving on. The Cruiserweight Championship. TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick. What is there to be said about this? I mean, the whole feud going in, it's really stupid. The whole idea, the fact that Brian Kendrick was saying I need to win or I'll probably be fired, had me thinking all along that Brian Kendrick was going to win. TJ Perkins is not great. He's good. He's okay. He's okay in the ring, but he's very bland and boring. And people keep wondering why he was named Cruiserweight Champion. Well, let's face it. The people that WWE wanted was Kota Ibushi, but if he wasn't going to sign, they also had Zack Sabre Jr. Neither of them wanted to sign with WWE full time, which is why I think it did go to TJ Perkins. I forget who was in that match. Was it Gran Metalik? Because I think Gran Metalik still has dates left in Mexico, which is why he is not on TV all the time. But yeah, it was an okay match, and I just agreed with everything with Brian Kendrick winning because. And I hope someone else gets the nod. Someone like, to me, Rich Swann. Rich Swann is going to be a guy that gets over. Drew Gulak. He's a hell of a talent. And Tony Nese. Cedric Alexander. Like, there's a lot of other people that should be getting the Cruiserweight Championship before him. And I think with the Cruiserweight Championship, anyway, you can have short-term champions because the idea my idea of a Cruiserweight Championship is that, well, a lot of them high fly, especially when they're high flyers. Well, high flyers can fuck up and cost themselves a match, and to me that's believable. When you have a high flyer champion, to me the fact they could lose at any time, I can agree with because. I mean, they have that high risk of chance of fucking up. When they fuck up, it's a believable story. Unlike somebody who maybe a little bit bigger, who's technically sound, I would have a little bit more different to say about that. But where they're high flying, okay, you're gonna hit a 450 splash. Oh, whoops! You moved out of the way. Boom! You hit the canvas. You're winded. He comes up, does his move and hits you. Boom, done. I mean, okay, I can agree with that. And really, okay, they're trying to establish the Cruiserweight Championship and that a title can change at any time, which I'll get to at the Women's Championship. But yeah, but although I think it was the right move. Next match was the Raw Tag Team Championships. The New Day defending against Cesaro and Sheamus. I thought this was a really fun little tag match. I mean, it was probably one of the better matches Sheamus has had. Sheamus, once in a while, you can pull it out of him. I think Sheamus has been really bored in a lot of his matches in the last couple of years, and I think this feud with Cesaro has really. This program with Cesaro has really fired him up a bit. I really want to see that. I honestly want, after that last match they had in the Best of 7 series, I really wanted to see a last man standing between the two. I think we'll still get that, but yeah, I did like the match. I hated the finish. It was a really bad finish the way they ended with a DQ, but what are you going to do? Next is the main event, historical main event, but it didn't live up to the main event standards, but it was the Women's Championship Hell in a Cell match between Sasha Banks and Charlotte. I thought it was an okay match, but it felt flat. It felt really flat the whole match. Sasha, the story of Sasha almost losing her championship at the start. I thought that sort of played into it. Okay, they created a bit of drama, this and that. But I can't say this was a great main event match. I was saying beforehand, if there was a pay-per-view to let the women have a main event, this was it, because it's a B-level pay-per-view. It's not like WrestleMania. It's not SummerSlam. It's not Survivor Series or Royal Rumble or anything like that. This I can understand them main eventing the pay-per-view with that. But I expected a lot better from these two. But you see, I like everybody else is probably harping back on the NXT days when they're not doing all this stupid shit. And Sasha Banks was off Raw again because they fear she has a neck injury. I hear. I mean, why the fuck are they doing this dangerous shit? I know. Okay, they want to put everything out on the line, which I totally get. But you are risking yourself to injury. Sasha Banks, she's not a big person. She's a tiny petite woman, and doing all these stupid crazy bumps, she's gonna be retired a lot quicker than what she had intended. She'll probably be retired by the time she's 30. I don't know how old she is now, but she'll probably be retired before she's 30, and if she's in her 30s, in the next couple of years. Because there's only so many, I find out myself, there's only so many things you can do to her back before you're fucked. And you know what? Injuries are bad. And injuries mount up, they get bad, and they develop arthritis. And if you think it's later on in life, in your 40s and 50s, no, it develops in your 20s of how bad it is. I'm 28, and I have back issues and neck issues. And okay, that was from sporting, but every so often you get that little bit more hurt. I have arthritis in both pinky fingers. It mounts up. I mean, somebody has to sit her down. Charlotte too have to sit those two girls down and talk to them. Why are you doing this stupid shit? Someone needs to maybe not hit them, but someone needs to hit them with a dose of reality. It's mind-boggling, and with the finish of the match, I thought the right thing was done. I think Charlotte is a far better champion than Sasha Banks. Charlotte is probably the best woman in the WWE today, and I'm saying the best. And it's not hard to say that coming from a famous father, but she is the star she should be. She has gotten into her character. She can't be thankful to everybody. Everything, all the times I hear with Sasha Banks is, I'm so thankful that I worked so hard that I won this championship, because everybody in the world told me that I can't make it. we heard that story already. We don't need that story. I mean, okay, we're happy that you won the championship, but come on, Charlotte used to do that, but in the in the months since then, she has grown to be an absolutely phenomenal wrestler. She can talk, she can wrestle, she can pretty much do everything. She's good as a heel. She should stay as a heel. She's in her role. She's in her element. And that's just how I feel. This is what I think. I think she's where she should be, and they're wanting to push Charlotte. My theory is WWE wants her to be undefeated on pay-per-view. I don't know if it's just undefeated on pay-per-view or just the streak of pay-per-view she's in. That is going to go until WrestleMania, because why blow that record off on a B-level pay-per-view like Hell in a Cell? Why not blow that off at WrestleMania, where it's a much bigger issue? So whoever finally beats her for the championship, whether it be Bayley, Sasha Banks, whether it be anybody really, anybody who beats her that's credible would benefit at beating her at WrestleMania. That's just my theory. But overall, this pay-per-view, I thought it was an okay pay-per-view with good wrestling matches. Hell in a Cell matches, especially the one with Roman Reigns, I think was lacking blood. And okay, I guess we're in a era where blood's not perfectly acceptable, but that would be more believable to me if it had blood in that match. But that's just how it is. But it was an okay pay-per-view, and that's my recap of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I was going to attach Raw to the same show, but this show's already gone over there's about nearly 24 minutes of the Hell in a Cell recap, and about 19 minutes of the TNA Lawsuit update, but I think that'll be it for this show. I'd like to thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to my channel. If you can, please donate to improve audio quality and of the show. But this show will always remain free regardless. So what you donate is really just a donation to help the show out. It's not for financial gain. It's not for anything like that. It's pretty much to improve the show. If you want to check out my Facebook page, it's at the Sky Genie official group page. Also, my Twitter account is SDD916. There's also other shows that I'll link up in the credits and on the description down below that I would love for you to check out. I mean, they are really good shows like Wrestling Soup, Get in the Corner, the Don Tony Kevin Castle show. If that's your show, those are on Mixlr. On Podbean, you get the Solomonster Sounds Off. There's also a Solomonster Sounds Off group page that I am a part of proudly. And other than that, thank you for listening to the show.